A lot of people are talking about what's happening in Iran as if it's just a military operation, and it seems like they have forgotten the revolution side of this. I'm looking at a lot of news reports on mainstream channels, but also a lot of YouTube channels that do military analysis. And it seems like a lot of them are not factoring in their analysis and their calculations the Iranian people's upcoming uprising in what's about to happen and what the plan has been from the beginning. Most of the analysis that I'm seeing with regards to whether these are the military operations are successful or not is measuring the level of success as if the military operations are supposed to do everything on their own, and without factoring in what the Iranian people are supposed to do when Princess Pahlavi gives a call to action. They're missing half the picture, more than half, because without that, none of this is going to be successful. In fact, it's the early January uprising of the Iranian people in the Lion and Sullen Revolution, with after the call to action of Princess Pahlavi, that gave the new calculations by the Americans that regime change is possible because they saw how many Iranian people came out into the streets. That's what changed their calculation. That's why all of these military operations are happening, because they saw what's possible. The objectives of these military operations is not possible without the Iranian people's uprising. Even some very sophisticated analysts and military experts that keep saying, they're saying like, oh, this is not going to be successful because the military operations by Israelis and Americans are not going to be able to achieve this and that, without them pointing out that after reducing the suppressing capabilities of the Islamic Republic, it's the Iranian people that are supposed to achieve those objectives. It's very interesting because in a lot of their predictions, they didn't even see that after taking out the air defense, the launchers, the Navy, that they were going to go for the IRGC bases and Basiji bases, and even further than that, the smaller Kalantari bases, which is something that we mentioned that is going to happen. If they had paid attention, they could have seen that this is what's about to come. And not only that, we were hoping that after they take out the bases of the suppressing units of the Islamic Republic, at some point, the military operations will involve drones taking out checkpoints and just Basijis and Niro Intizami and other suppressing units just in the streets. And that's exactly what happened. And based on the context that I have in Iran, everything that I'm hearing is that the Iranian people can't wait for Princess Pahlavi to give the call to action to come out again. A lot of people ask me, when I get interviewed by different media, a lot of people ask me whether or not I think the Iranian people are going to come back out again once Princess Pahlavi gives the call to action. I tell them that we're having a hard time keeping them inside. That's how eager they are to get outside. The call to action right now is to stay inside until the Israeli and American joint military operations reduces the suppressing ability of the Islamic Republic to a minimum. It's amazing how they keep looking at the military operations by United States and Israel, and then they don't include the Iranian people in their equation, completely dismissing them as a major factor here. And it's amazing to me how they don't see what the plan was, because the plan was very obvious even before these military operations began. One thing that reassured me that this is exactly what's going to happen is Princess Pahlavi's promise that this is going to happen, because he's usually very conservative regarding telling us what's going to happen, but just in case it doesn't happen. So the fact that when he came out and confidently told us that help is on the way and give us guidance on what we Iranian people need to do next, both Iranians inside Iran and Iranians outside of Iran, I knew that he knew what's going to happen. And then when it happened, we were proven right. So when he said help is on the way and help did arrive as he promised, now that he's communicating the upcoming steps, me and other Iranians trust him. just to give you an update, Princess of Pahlavi just gave another call to action to the Garde Javidan, the immortal guards, which are units of 3 or 5 people that he had planned for this day way before any of this happened, which shows how in advance he was planning for all of this. He is now commanding them to get involved in responding to the suppressing forces of the Islamic Republic, and reminded the rest of Iranians that this is not the call to action for the uprising and that day has not arrived yet. A lot of people are losing patience and ask me why the Iranian people haven't done the uprising yet, and I keep reminding them because we have been told by Princess of Pahlavi that the time is not right yet. It's pretty clear that he's in communication with the Americans and they're working with each other. We kept on telling you that this was obvious based on how aware Princess of Pahlavi is regarding what's about to happen next. But they recently just confirmed it, so we were right about that as well. We have to be patient. I know we're in a hurry for liberation, but we have to wait for the call to action for the next uprising. And I don't know when the call to action will arrive, but if it takes a while, it could work in our favor. Because right now, the Islamic Republic has figured out what the plan is, and they're getting ready for the call to action for Iranian people to come into the streets. So they're trying to fill the streets with civilians, the minority of civilians who support the Islamic Republic, as a way to not only create a human shield for their own forces, but also they're arming them because their own suppressing ability has been reduced significantly by the military operations of United States and Israel. So they're trying to now arm just random civilians who are still loyal to the Islamic Republic to stand against the upcoming uprising. And the communications that is leaking from the Islamic Republic, there's a lot of fear among the regime forces. With the drone attacks, we have death from the sky. And they were expecting that the next phase of the attacks against them will be hundreds of thousands of Iranian people in every city attacking them. But they now got surprised because Princess of Pahlavi called upon the Immortal Guard to attack them instead. It's going to be very difficult for them to maintain high morale. They're going to get exhausted. They're going to get scared. We now have death from the sky. And also they have to watch their back underground as well. So instead of asking for the uprising right away, it makes sense for us to continue exhausting the regime forces and wait for more of them to not show up for work or run away or defect. The longer this lasts, the more exhausting and demoralizing this is going to be for regime forces. On top of that, we also have the Israeli drones just killing a whole bunch of them. So we have fear, we have exhaustion, we have loss of hope because they can see that the people who are giving their commands to them are not the same people that were giving the commands to them last week or yesterday because they're dead. So this is going to make them feel like this is the whole thing is falling apart. More of them would run away. More of them will just not show up to work. So the longer this lasts, the less of the obstacle the Iranian people have to overcome when they get that call to action. So far, everything is going according to plan. Hopefully, it will continue to go according to plan. I know this is difficult, especially for Iranian people inside Iran right now, because the situation is very tense. The security forces are everywhere, especially in Tehran, and things are getting very expensive. But even my friend that I just talked to inside Iran, she was telling me how difficult and tense the situation is, how everything is getting expensive and many things are not available right now. But then when I ask her what does she think about whether or not the Iranian people will show up in the streets again once Prince of Pahlavi gives a call to action, she says definitely yes, more than even early January. So the motivation to come out and get revenge for what the Islamic Republic did in early January, but also for the past 47 years, is higher than ever, and more people than ever before are waiting to come into the streets and topple the Islamic Republic once and for all. So our side, even with all the difficulties, is getting more and more motivated every day to come out and finish the job, and the other side every day is losing motivation. This is why time is on our side, and even though things are difficult, if this takes a while, it works in our favor and not in theirs. Let me know what you think. Your comments influence the videos I make next. My name is Armin Navabi. I'm Israel Chai. Long live America. Javid Shah. Payande Iran.